Hey, it's Mikey from Rockin' K. If you don't know who we are a couple of Americans transplanted to Germany. We are doing the homesteading slash DIY slash off-gridding thing here in Germany. And in this week's installment, we are working on the heating wall and moving that heating because we do have an off-grid heating system. And that's coming up. Hey, you may have noticed we didn't get a video up yesterday, but we got a little tied up and we were a little busy with some stuff. So we went shopping today for some of the materials. And as you can see, the back of the truck has a bunch of stuff in it. And so we got the ceiling material. We're putting up an engineered ceiling. And then the flooring. There's the pads for underneath the flooring. We got some toilets. We bought a whole bunch of the plumbing supplies. And we did this because the local Lowe's type store, Globus Baumart, had a 20% sale. So we saved 20% off of all of this. Which, hey, money's money. If I can save it, I'm going to do it. So we shot out this morning. Stood in all the long lines and got floor, ceiling, toilets. Saved a boatload of money. You guys know if you do renovations, it's a lot of money in material. So you can just imagine, you know, what that 20% was, especially when we're talking about all the pipe fittings and stuff like that, the press fittings for copper. So big win today. I am going to go ahead and unload the truck, and then I'm going to go and edit video. Today, this week's will have some of the heating wall installation. I spent most of the week leveling the wall and getting preparations for moving the heating system. So that's what we're going to right now. Hey folks, so if you didn't know, we heat with wood. And what we have is a wood boiler here and a hot water storage tank, which is right there. So we'll bring you around and actually show you. So this is the wood burner. And this huge tank, 4,000 liters, holds hot water because the wood boiler makes hot water faster than the house uses it. So it's actually a good system. I can fill this once a day. Get up in the morning, light a fire, stoke it, and leave it. I don't have to worry about it till the next day because it stores all the extra hot water in there and it uses the hot water. So this is the second stove that I've had here. The first stove was whiz bang, state of the art, was supposed to be the greatest thing. And well, you know, when you buy something when it's first made, there's hiccups. And here in Germany, they test our stoves. They test them for carbon dioxide. They test them for particulate matter and everything that goes up the chimney that you can see right there, that tall chimney. So this stove would not pass. We had the company that manufactured the stove come out 2 times with the inspectors here, and the first time the CO2 levels were so high, there was nothing they could do. The second time they came out, we were just out. So long story short, they bought back that stove because what I didn't want to have happen is we get it to pass and we get out of that whole warranty guarantee time frame, and now I can't get the stove to pass its inspection. And that stove was expensive. So I think I paid 13,000 euro for that stove. This one, not so high-tech. It is more high-tech than I thought because I was running it The other day I told you guys that I needed to start up my wood stove. So I started it up, and I did find out that it does automatically control the blower for temperature and stuff like that. So that's a big plus. But it's not as whiz-bang as the other one. Hence, over here, I put in all these little control boards that actually monitor the system. That lets me, at a glance, know how hot the tank is, how hot the boiler is, and how hot the water is going in and out of my house. So that was a little thing that I did last year before we started using it for the season. This year, before using it for the season, I've said on other videos, so these are the water lines that come out of that storage tank. They actually go down and into the floor. They go 37 meters, 37 meters, so close to 37 yards, we'll say, because they're fairly close, all the way to the house and into the basement. Then these two supply lines go all the way over there. Then they come all the way back from the mixers and supply water here down through these floor manifolds that heat the room next door. Needless to say, it's very wasteful because I'm sending it out, it's traveling all that way, it's coming back without doing any heating, and I've already lost 10, 15 degrees Celsius just in the loop. That's not cool. So what we want to do is we want to send it out only to the house. So we're going to put the mixers here. This way I can send water to the house at about 55 to 60 degrees Celsius, which will continue traveling in the same route that it does now. However, the 30 Celsius, the 25 to 30 Celsius that we need to heat the room next door will come directly down from these two pipes from a mixer up on the wall up there. This should make it a lot more efficient. And another point on the efficiency is it goes through my old oil boiler. So the way it was set up is if this wood stove was out and the water got down to 45 degrees Celsius, the oil burner would automatically turn on and continue heating the house. Well, it's been 3 years on wood. You know how many times that oil burner is run? 0. I only ran that water boiler or that oil boiler when I replaced this stove last year. So, in replacing this stove was put in the middle of the season last year, in the middle of heating season. So when we put it in, it was a rush job. Things weren't done right. Things were, hey, let's get this in, let's get it heating the house because we need heat and we need to get away from the oil. So you can see the menagerie of cables and such that haven't been completed. Well, the system has been off, all summer, of course, because we don't need heat. And so now I had to light the wood stove once so far this year, and just to get a little heat because we did get down to around mid-30s, so a little chilly. Fahrenheit, that is, mid-30s Fahrenheit. So now we're in a warmer week and we don't have to really worry about it. Now I'm going to take the stove down. I'm going to actually turn the power supply off and all that. Get these cables all organized. Get good board on this wall to mount the mixers because the mixers are going to mount right there on the wall. There's going to be the mixer for the house and then the mixer for the party room next door. They're both going to be on this wall. This way I instead of sending 75 degrees Celsius water into the house and it mixing 55 degrees for the house and 30-ish for the party room, it's only going to send what we need temperature-wise into the house, which is going to be around 55 or 60 degrees Celsius. That's all that's going to go into the house. Then it will have a very short route of maybe 6 feet before it starts heating the party room. 6 feet is way, way, way better than the 37 out and 37 back meters that it's doing right now. So I think we'll pick up a lot of efficiency. Last year I burned around 7.5 cords of wood, I think it was. It is efficient. So yeah, about 7.5 cords, maybe 8 cords of wood for the whole year for all of my heating. And I know I can do better than that. So in the process of the renovations for the bathroom, we have to take some of the heating system offline, because right now the heating system is mixed with the hot water system for our domestic hot water, for showers, for sinks, for all that. And what we're doing is we're moving that warm pump hot water heater that we have. So we're taking something out of the system, which means I have to terminate water lines and everything like that are in that basement. And it doesn't make sense to leave an oil boiler there that I'm not using, to cap off lines, to do all that, when I can just move my mixers, gain efficiency on my wood heater, and then move that hot water heater very close to where the point of use is, near the bathrooms, because it as well is traveling an extra 30 feet or so, 40 feet worth of pipe before it gets to where we're using it. In relocating the hot water heater, it's actually going to put the hot water heater about less than 10 feet from point of use, pipe-wise, which way more efficient. And because, you're not going to get in a cold shower. You're going to turn the shower on. You're going to wait for that hot water to show up. And then when you're done showering, all that hot water that's in those pipes all the way back, it just goes cold. So you're wasting all that hot water. Not to, and to say, you're also wasting all that water going down the drain that you were running the water to get the hot water in the house in the first place, in the bathroom. So it's all about efficiency. The more you save, the less you have to work for. And cutting firewood takes effort. I have to buy my firewood, so I buy it in logs, and then I cut it and split it like it is behind me. And that takes effort. So we're talking labor, we're talking money. The less wood I burn, the less money I spend. The less wood I burn, the less labor I have in cutting and splitting firewood. So in that sense, it's a no-brainer. Make it more efficient, burn less wood, do less work. I could potentially get away with, if all goes well, I can get away with maybe making a fire once a day, but not even filling the firebox all the way full. That's something you have to gauge and get a feel for. But we're talking about potentially saving, $100 or $2 over the course of the year. So, I mean, $100 is $100, right? $100 is coffee for the year kind of thing, if you're buying ground coffee. It's not that Starbucks stuff. Starbucks stuff, you need a couple $100 at least, savings. So that's what we're getting into. That's what this week is going to be about. I did say on Sunday that it is going to be low content and possibly some workshop Wednesday type stuff, but no, we got plenty of work to do right here. I got to take all those metal beams, conduit, all that off the wall. I am leaving the pipes behind. I'm going to be very, 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 very careful and try not to break any pipes, because the pipes are going to stay. I'm going to slide the wall in behind the pipes and then anchor the pipes all to the new wall, because this wall is old. And when I mean old, I mean it is probably 75 years old. This wall is stacked sandstone and mud. If you can see right there, I'll bring you in a little closer. It's sandstone and mud. So I know this wall is really old. So what I need to do is level that wall, because if you look down this wall, she ain't so level. And I'm a clean slate kind of guy. I want nice, flat surface, clean, ready to go for when it comes time for me to install things, because it just looks better. I mean, there was nothing on these tank beams, and I installed this nice flat cement board, all fireproof and everything, and it gave me a place for my cutoff, my monitoring, and I had a place to put 2 outlets to power stuff like lights, the vacuum to clean in here, and things like that. So I really want to get this cleaned up, and it preps the playing field and lets me start with a clean slate, get all these pump mixers up, get all the conduit and everything all pretty looking, just like on the other side there. You see how the conduit's all nice, orderly, nice and clean. It'll be the same way here. When the guys that did the install on the first oven, they put it in these channels, in these plastic box channels. And this, come on, we're going to make it look good. It's going to be pretty, and it's going to function. It's going to function, you know. So I have rambled long enough on this. Mostly it's because I don't want to get started. Once I'm started, everything goes good. I'm a bad starter, but man, once I get going, you can't stop me. In fact, Mama will complain, "Oh, you're going to come in for dinner? I got to do, I'm almost done. Let me keep going." Yeah, a lot of us are guilty of that. So let's have at it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you up on a tripod. I'm going to blast some music, which means we're going to go to Timelapse, because YouTube doesn't like us playing somebody else's music. So we're going to go Timelapse, and I'm going to have at this wall. All right, so now we got the wall stripped. Now what we need to do is put these on the wall. But in the process, we might have to shim them so that they're all level and all that, and they're all on the same plane. So here we go. All right, so I'm done for the day. It is 6:30 now. Mama's come and said it's dinner time, so I do have to stop. So far, as you can see, we got all that mess stripped off the wall. Right now, this is being supported by a clamp down there, and I actually have it zip tied off over there so that we don't break the pipe. I got 2 or 3 of the 4 slats in, because now on this will go USB, OSB, in American terms OSB, and then the cement board, the fireproof board. So up there is the same height as that ring right there, if you can see. Sorry about the sun, but there's a ring around the wall at that level. The plan is up there we're going to make a floor. So there'll be a wall just to the outside of where I'm putting the slats. So the heating wall will end right where a wall is going to be coming towards us from that end. And that wall is going to be up high enough that we can go ahead and put joist work on this side, get this closed off, and end up with a second level in this barn, because look how high that barn is. That barn is way up there. So we'll have a second floor throughout the whole barn. Over the wood stove, we're going to make the floor go up to where the chimney is, over there. And then because of the height of the water storage tank and everything, we're going to step it up and over the water storage tank, because that storage tank is high. I mean, that's how far up I can reach, you know, just about to this pipe, and then look how much more there is. That's a big tank. So the plan would be just to have it enclosed to keep the heater inside a room that we don't have to worry about freezing or anything, because it'll create its own heat inside the room. So like, this is a fresh water pipe. This is a fresh water pipe because in the event that the oven overheats, there's a special valve here that if it hits, I think it's 95 degrees Celsius, which is 5 degrees Celsius from boiling, it will allow water to come in and cool the stove down. So if the stove was to run away and just start spiking in temperature, or if the water stops circulating because there's a power outage or the pumps break, it will allow water to come in and actually cool the stove off so that it doesn't melt down, basically. So it's a pretty cool design. It'll save the stove, which is very important. So on that note, we're going to wrap this one up, and I'll see you again in the morning. Well, no. In the morning, I'm going to work. We'll see you in the afternoon. All right, we're back. Round 2. So yesterday I got those up. I got that last one to do right there in the middle. And then I got to take those valves off. So let's not waste any time. We're burning daylight. Let's get going. Okay, while the dust clears from using the grinder right quick, I had to take a little lump off the wall, so it kicked up a lot of dust. All the framework is up, so now I got to cut the oriented strand board or USB, whatever you guys refer to it as, chipboard. I got to cut it to 1.50 meters wide, and I'll start from the bottom, work my way up, and then be able to get the cement board on there and start reattaching everything. So we're at the point where we're going back. So away we go. All right, first one trimmed and up. It really changes the look. It gives it that more finished feel. And that's just the USB. I'm still going over the top of it with the cement board. So what I am going to do is I'm going to put some doublers back here, because I got big clamps that I need to hold, and I want to make sure that they're held firm. So before I put number 2 up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure these gaps. I'm going to throw some long boards in here so that we can make sure that we get it real firm. So let's do it. All right, so we got some doublers cut down. Now you can see what I mean by doublers. We'll step away a little bit. So here's the USB plotting, or the USB board, and in between I put another piece of USB, so that I end up with 24, almost 25 millimeters worth of material that when I'm using the mounting threads, I don't have to worry about hitting the stud. I can get in this, and because we're holding up pipes and they're going to be held fairly frequently, and the weight that I'm putting on this is not that much, it's going to make it that I don't need to use like toggle bolts or anything like that. I have, I don't know, what is that? 24 millimeters is, I don't even know what that is. It's like half inch-ish of wood. And on top of that, I also have the cement board. So it's going to be a good near 3/4 inch thick. So that gives me something for, you know, like, and the pipes aren't that heavy. It's just they need to be held where they don't wiggle and stuff. So we're going to be golden. So let me start knocking out the rest of the USB. And yeah, we'll get it done. All right, we got the next 2 sheets up. I still have to get up in there and hit the doubler in the middle. But yeah, this thing is freaking solid. So I still have a layer of cement board to go over the top. And then I'll start mounting all of this back where it belongs, so that nothing is moving around, because we don't need to break anything. But yeah, it's solid. It's 90% straight, because you see what I'm dealing with. But I'll tell you what, this is a lot better surface to go ahead and mount my mixers and all this on for my heating system. Plus, it's going to look finished. It's not going to look like somebody threw some stuff on a wall, because that's what it looked like. And it's no fault of the guys that helped me. It's just we had to get this heater in, and we had to get it in like fast, because the old heater, you know, had to go back, and this one had to go in, so nothing got done 100%. It was get it in so that we have heat, because it was the middle of the winter. So no fault on anybody, but it does look a lot better. So let me get that last little bit up there, and we'll get that first cement board on, and we'll come back. All right, 6:30, quitting time. Let me show you where I got. So, look at that. We now have a nice clean install. So far, the floor manifolds are bolted, leveled. They're all good. I still have to level the copper pipe and put the brackets on it. I got to go get those brackets to hold it on the wall. But this wall is pretty much bulletproof. So we did end up probably around 3/4 thick between the cement board, the OSB, and then the second layer OSB behind. And we ended up really level. I mean, I was amazed at how level we actually ended up. For what we started with, you know, when you look down the edge of this wall, you can see it's horrible. But this is going to be the inside of the enclosed, like, heating room. So that's why I went so high. As I was saying earlier, there's the ring wall around. And the plan is to close this in because this is a big open barn. And as you can see, all that bright light behind me. So right there above my head, that is a doorway. You know, and the plan in the future is the ring on the wall goes right below that. It's a cement ring with rebar and all that goes all the way around the wall to keep it in so that the walls don't want to come and bulge out. So the plan is to attach a stringer, you know, the joists there, and right here, right along this edge is where the block wall will be to box in my heating room. I'm going to do a dry stack and fill on the block. It's a special lipped block that they have that stacks up like Legos. And then you pour cement down. You know, you set your rebar, you pour the cement down the inside, and it becomes a solid wall. So that's the next, like, iteration or the next big step in this room. Right now, we're working on getting all the mixers moved. So probably tomorrow, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. My schedule's starting to get packed. We'll pull the mixers down and actually mount them. We'll have to drain the whole heating system, but we'll get them mounted so we have the game plan of how we're gonna skin this cat, because this is gonna be the hardest part, is getting all of these connected without having them cross. And I'm pretty sure I got a plan, but you know how plans go awry. So, but that's it for today, and we'll move on for the next day. Until then. All right, folks, so I didn't film putting up the last board. I was in a rush. Camera was giving me issues, but she's done. I'm going to flip you around. And now you can see that wall is done. So what I have left, mount the mixers, get all the clamps on the wall to hold the pipes so they're stable, and do the whole, figure out where all these pipes are going. But it looks 100% better. So that'll wrap this video up. I have to get it edited and get it out to you guys. So in keeping with my motto, if you're thinking about a friend, some family, give them a WhatsApp, whatever works for you. Tell them you're thinking of them. It'll make them feel good. You know it'd make you feel good too. So until the next adventure, auf Wiedersehen. Hey, so we're sitting here editing this video. If you made it this far, you gotta give it a like. You gotta give it the subscribe. But come on, we entertained you. Hit it up.